it, they should inform us in advance and we will suspend it. So yes.
The exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and today's meeting number is 10. I'm sure I'm audible and visible.
And we will suspend it. So yes. Wait.
Got it, Tobay. The exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and today's meeting number is 10.
All right. Now. Hello.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening, and I welcome you all to another exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Today's meeting number is 1045. We're going to follow a few ground rules. You all are requested to please participate actively in today's meeting. Those who have joined us through online are requested to please turn on your videos so that we can see you and we can have better interaction. Plus, mute your mic unless you are asked to do so. Few ground rules to follow. We encourage not to talk about on three topics. First one is politics, second one is religion, and third one is sex. With that, I would like to hand over the charge to the presiding officer. He served the district as club road director, program quality director, district director, and now serving as immediate past district director. Give him a big round of applause. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Pradhan.
Thank you so much, impromptu sergeant accounts. So once again, you all know what Toastmasters is. That's why you're sitting here. So there's no need to go over that. We don't have any guests online as well. So they all know what, I mean, we have guests, but we don't have newbies online. So they all know what Toastmasters is. So now that I've spent 3 sentences trying to say that I will not explain about Toastmasters, we can move on. So welcome to this 1045th meeting. Over the past 2 days, we have inducted 4 new members. And as a business session, we will briefly go over what happened in the last meeting. So the bulletin has already been shared, but just to recap, the best speaker was won by, it was a 3-way tie, Toastmaster Elvin, Toastmaster Mufaddal, and DTM Raghu. Best Big Four by Toastmaster Raghezi Zishan. Best evaluator by myself. Best facilitator, Toastmaster Elvin once again. 2 grammar lessons and 2 awards. Best table topics, DTM Ahmed Abdullah. In the critics' choice, 3rd place went to Toastmaster Elvin Faraz, 2nd place went to Toastmaster Raghezi Zishan, and 1st place went to Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza. So with that, there have been no developments by the executive committee that need to be placed before the club. So we can move on and we can ask our guests to introduce ourselves. Our first guest is Toastmaster Luain. Please correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name and introduce yourself.
Hi, you pronounce it correctly.
All right. Thank you so much. Would you please introduce yourself and where are you joining from?
Hi, everyone. I am Luim Tabili from Malaysia. And for your information, I am not a Toastmaster member. I'm not a Toastmaster member. So I am here as a listener. And actually, I would getting with GTM Cynthia Stott. Yeah, and actually I'm learning with her. So right. She encourages me to join in any Toastmasters meeting. So thank you so much.
All right. So we can consider you a Toastmaster because you are so active in Toastmasters. Toastmasters is not a label, it's a what? It's a frame of mind, and you are in that frame of mind. So next we have a very special guest from Lahore, Toastmaster Irfan Farooq. He is, if I can safely say that he's a friend of the club. He quite likes the club, that's why he attends every now and then. If he didn't like it, he wouldn't have attended. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is, as said, Irfan Farooqi. I'm from Lahore and from Century Paper Toastmaster Club. It's been 2 years now that I'm associated with Toastmasters. It's been a good journey. And that's why I always like to join clubs like this. Participate whenever I'm in Karachi. I always prefer to participate physically, but occasionally I try to participate online and I try to skip from the meeting when the table topic starts. Thank you very much.
All right. So he cleared his indication.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So thank you so much. And yes, we are not giving you table topics today. We are giving you a prepared speech and an evaluation and any other role that may strike our fancy. So with that, it is now time to invite our Toastmaster of the day. And lately, he seems to be the same person every week. But nevertheless, I'll introduce him. He is one of our newer members, newer in terms of period with Toastmasters, but incredibly, he is almost completing his pathway today in a very short amount of time. He is one of those people who have a rich knowledge of many fields and they can speak effortlessly. He can speak many languages. He has a good grasp of English grammar and he is extremely confident, which makes me wonder what he's doing here. But we'll take them as they come, our members. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Elvin Faraz. There it is.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Thank you for clearing out everything. Again, a huge round of applause for DTM Talha for doing such a justice for a mere mortal like me. However, I am enjoying a great power today, and that power comes with a title called Toastmaster of the Day. And the Toastmaster of the Day is kind of a position where I can put forward a theme. And today the theme that I want to discuss and I want to highlight in today's meeting is the rising problem of inflation and how we can counter that. See, I just want to pull my hair right now and let me inform you that price of petrol is almost touching 300 in Pakistan. The gold has reached around, it has crossed the barrier of 200,000 per tola. For 10 grams, it is way less, but it is still out of proportion for a middle class or a common person. Everything is going skyrocket. Everything has its price high, and to discuss the solutions, how to get out of this mess of a situation, we have a lot of speakers today. We have the table topic session dedicated to that entire segment. In fact, I was motivated to do this as a theme today because in the very last meeting, many of the speakers wanted to become machines. One of the winners, DTM Ahmad, if I'm correct, he wanted to be a robot because he did not have to drink water anymore. He did not have to eat anymore. And that is why it pushed me to discuss the elephant in the room right now. So let me tell you who is going to be with me, what is going to happen today in today's meeting. So yours truly will be taking care of the prepared speeches section. That will be the first section of this meeting. The second section of the meeting will be the table topic session, and that will happen after every 3 prepared speeches. And Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali will be heading that section. A huge round of applause for him, please, before we even move further to the next person. After that, the general evaluator will be Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, who is an excellent speaker, and she took us for a roller coaster ride in the last meeting. Further, we have the evergreen, the most handsome person, the most handsome member of the Karachi Toastmaster, and he is none other than Toastmaster Imran Rana, who will be doing the table topic evaluation. However, to assist me to make my life a bit simpler, I have a group of people who will be helping out, and the first one of these people will be the grammarian, who is none other than Toastmaster Fahim Raza. So put your hands together for him as he approaches the stage and gives us the word of the day. Over to you, sir.
Reading the agenda. Word master is Faizan actually, so you just are grammar. And an evaluator.
And
And an evaluator. Yeah.
thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Alvin Frost, and good evening, ladies and gents. As a grammarian, my role will be to mark the good use of grammar and perhaps not so good use of grammar. And at the end of the meeting, I will submit my report in here. With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for your introduction. Thank you so much for explaining the role so wonderfully well. Now let's call upon stage the word master of the day, who is going to give us a little boost in our vocabulary. Over to you, Toastmaster Faizan Zafar.
Alvin, you can introduce the word of the day. He's not here yet, and plus you can also introduce the other role players. Just by
Okay,
yourself.
okay.
Yeah.
On it, sir. So the word of the day is today empathetic, and empathetic means even this is a new word for me. So I believe something who has like empathy a lot, someone who can put himself in the shoes of someone else, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes. So sympathy can be developed by a lot of people, but empathy is the highest stage of that, and we need to be more empathetic. That is one example of the word. Furthermore, the timer of the day will be yours truly. That is Talha bin Hamid. He is our distinguished Toastmaster. Technical host will also be DTM Talha bin Hamid. Our counter is going to be none other than DTM Sarfaraz, and our counter's job is exactly to get rid of these unwanted, unintentional pauses that we are dealing with. Word counter of the day, once again, will be DTM Talha, and the joke master is Faizan Zafar. So I would like to call upon Faizan Zafar to start with the joke so that we can begin today's meeting.
Joke is that you didn't notice when I said that he's not here.
Even Faizan Zafar is okay, same guy.
Yeah,
So who's telling us the joke today?
Maybe you can.
When he comes, he will do.
Or yeah.
Okay, let me start at the top of my mind. I have, if you don't like this joke, please say I'm apologizing in advance. So they say all women are dolls. Have you heard this one? So
No.
all women are dolls. Now it is actually your destiny and your good or bad luck. You can get a Barbie. You can also get an Annabelle. I'm really sorry once again. Really sorry for that once again. All right. So with that, let us begin with the first session of the meeting. That is going to be the prepared speeches. And we have DTM Talha available right now.
Yes.
Whose evaluator is DTM Henna.
No, wait. Not so fast. Yeah, we can start with the Toastmaster Latif and then Toastmaster Imran. Yeah. All right.
All right. So let me call upon stage DTM Sarfaraz, who is going to evaluate Latif Mansoor Ali. Put your hands together for the distinguished Toastmaster Sarfaraz Nazir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Future distinguished Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali is giving Level 2 speech, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. The purpose of this project is for Toastmaster Latif to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And the purpose of this speech that he is delivering is for him to share some aspect of a previous experience as a prodigy. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
20th of January, it was just 7 days I was on vacation in Karachi. Friday afternoon, lying on my bed, and just one objective: to watch my Toastmaster Karim Meghane's speech in his area contest. All of a sudden, once the international speech started, before that, I checked the list of participants. I saw Toastmaster Imran, I saw Toastmaster Fahim Razak, and I saw Toastmaster Karim. Happily, I was like, he is already in the room. But the contest chair scared fellow Toastmasters and guests. This was the very moment I thought that I should intervene. And with all my powers of VP education, I decided to call each and every member I know to put Karim in the speech slot again. I called the chief judge, I called the area director, I called the contest chair. And the answer was no. I decided, even that rude, I spoke to him so rudely that once I told him, he said, we will talk about this later. And I said, no, contest chair. If we cannot talk about this now, we will not talk about it afterwards. And finally, I got to know through a group message that he is being included. I was relaxed. I could not watch that speech. Last Wednesday, I enrolled myself as a speaker and stepped out just because I had a good gathering of my son's college where all the parents were involved just to inform how they feel by sending their kids to a project in Gilgit-Baltistan. I was happy. I shared my opinion. But one of the teachers said, I experienced that even if you are rich and loaded with heavy pockets, it is not worth if you don't have a big heart. That made me think, I don't know, twice, thrice, or many a times, that who is that person having a big heart, and who is that person who has a big pocket, heavy, rich guy I know. It was easy for me to go towards a person who has a rich heart, but difficult for me to reach or get to know the person at the rich pocket, heavy pockets. I did many research, and finally I found out that I have a mentor who really put this much courage that I can speak out to the contest chairs, masters, and be brave to prove my point. At one stage, I was the same person who was shy about doing these things. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, in Toastmaster fraternity, mentoring is the most important and vital vein of ingredient, which we call it. That mentor that does not help anybody or does not focus on your coaching ability or many things, but it helps you to bring out the best of you. which sometimes you also don't know. A person who keeps shy, he said, why I should fight for someone else, is willingly ready to prove his point. My mentor, who is always available for me, who showed the way how to welcome each and every member. The biggest advantage of me, what I learned from him, was to motivate each and every member of the club or District 122. Each and every member who is not present in the meeting is allowed to enter, deliver the project and leave, just because he knows that delivering a project makes a person grow. It is not the way the book says that you have to be available 15 minutes. If not, then we will disqualify you. It is the encouragement of what you get from this mentor of mine. Now, fellow Toastmasters, if the mentorship I followed before from my home club, I learned that even there is a change of agenda, you have to stick to the rule and take a vote of confidence. But that does not happen. Just because this mentor of mine, past district director, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, taught us that this Toastmasters is just to deliver and encourage the newbies in Toastmasters. It is not a holy book which cannot be rewrite. It can be flexible with the terms and ability of the mentee. This comes to the last and very important point of mine. If I have to give back to this community, for sure, I will be encouraging each and every member to attend, and possibly, if need any assistance, I will be available. So heavy pockets are not the one which has rich. It is, you have to be rich by heart. Your heart should be so big that all the District 122 Toastmasters can fit it into them. And he has that heart. Thank you. Toastmasters.
Thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful speech. Okay, so as I told you that this meeting is going to cater or try to give you some solutions against inflation. So I will start it and then I will pass the baton to someone else. So my first step is going to be this. I have just recently read two amazing books. The first one is called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it is written by George Clason. So George Clason advises to fight against inflation. What you have to do, that no matter what job you have, what profession you belong to, whatever the earning is, just try to save 10% of that in every single income that you get. Whenever you have any kind of cash flow, just try to save 10% and compile it until you get a right opportunity to invest that accumulated amount after some time. So tip number one is to go high on your savings. Try to save at least 10% of it. If you can go more than that while managing your expenses, that is wonderful, but at least 10% has to be saved every month, every quarter, every year, annually or semi-annually basis. The second book that I want to mention right now, it includes the second advice, and that is written by Mark Manson. And the book is titled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Again, this book gives us the teaching that you cannot worry about everything. Tensions and difficulties will always be there. What to cook, which career to select is a tension, is a difficulty. And what to cook, again, how to get the money, how to get the sufficient money is going to be another tension. So we need to worry and select our worries appropriately. The next speaker is going to be none other than Toastmaster Imran Farooqi. And Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi, who will be evaluated by DTM Talha. And DTM Talha, be ready. Right after that, I will also call you for your next step.
All right. All right. Please. Clap. Oh. Sorry. No, it's all right. Sir?
So you don't explain my point?
No. Actually, we are just Toastmaster Alvin just introduced what the project is briefly. We are not separately calling the evaluators to say.
Really sorry for that. TM Imran Farooqi is going to deliver his level 2 project. And the title of this speech is going to be Jack of all trades. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. My dear fellow Toastmasters, as you see, the topic of this, I don't know whether it was mentioned by him. The area is project 1 to level 2. And it is about communication. And you have seen just 2-3 very important lessons from Alvin. First of all, I was named as Imran. Then it was corrected, but he again called me Imran. So it's no problem, because you see, Shakespeare has said about rose. So I feel I'm a rose, no issue with me. Then there was another important thing when Alvin was talking, because he is considered to be a master of language now, because what I have heard about, what I've listened to him in the previous, how he was telling about different pronunciations. So in his talk, he said one thing. He was talking about saving, but while talking about saving, he said, go high. And that was very confusing. What is he offering us? What does he want from us? He wants us to go high? But actually he was saying to go high on savings. But if you want to go high, you will have no savings.
Yeah.
Fellow Toastmasters, communication is not what we say to others. It is what others perceive from our talk. And by the age which I am getting, let me tell you, let me share with you one personal secret. You must have heard a very famous joke, but practically it happened with me. I went to my wife one day in the evening when I went home, and during the talk I said, isn't it Friday today? And she said, no, it is Friday. And I said, oh, I thought it is Friday. Believe it, this is not a joke, this is reality. This is how communication gets distorted at my age. I'm never ready to accept I'm getting old till this event that happened with both of us. And we agreed that now we are a part of family joke, because kids were also there. My dear fellow Toastmasters, when I read about communication, I found out that there are 4 different types of personalities. And those personalities have their own way of communication. And that's also defined in Toastmaster curriculum. Say, number 1 is direct communicators. These are the people who do not want to beat about the bush. They want to be precise, exact. Whatever they want to listen should not have a good big story about it. It has to be something direct and should have some results and should have some challenges. So I thought that when I have to talk some persons, I should understand which category he belongs to or she belongs to. So I thought that in my communication, the people sitting at the top level are the ones who believe in direct communication. Instead of adopting a way of communication of my own, I decided I should adjust myself as per the need of the communication receiver. And that's why I said that the best way to talk to a senior executive is that I should be precise. Only a 5-minute talk, no stories. If I'm going to my senior management, I'm going to my CEO or some very senior level person, going to the project, I want to sell that project. If there is a story, project is failed. Acceptance of project is failed. It should be precise. It should be to the point. And it should also show results. If we do this, this will happen. These are the facts. My experience, whenever I have done it, mostly projects were accepted. The second type of people with whom we communicate are initiating people. These initiators, these are the people who like to talk more and listen less. And I found out that people in the field of sales, people in the field of engineering, they are mostly these initiating type people. What they like there should be some challenge. They are energetic people. When I want to sell a project to them, I present that project in a way that looks very attractive, not very easy to do. Should be something, there should have some challenge in it. If it is easy, they will not care about it. Tell them it is difficult, they will run after it. The third category of people are those who are from supportive nature. They are very relaxed people. They don't want change. If you give them something which is strange, quick, altogether different from whatever they are doing, big change, they'll run away from the problem. Make it relaxed to them. Make it enjoyable to them. Make it fun for them. They'll buy in your project. The fourth and last category are the analytics. And being in Toastmaster, I'm not very comfortable to describe it. These are the ones that believe in figures, facts, precision, discipline, mostly the accountants. They want a precise thing. You present something and there is a fault in your presentation, you're out. So my dear fellow Toastmasters, communication is art and science. So I have understood, categorize the people, be a jack of all trades. Over to you.
Thank you so much for these kind words, and please ignore my mistake. It is Irfan Farooqi, Irfan Farooqi, Irfan Farooqi, and I will remember it till the rest of my days. So, moving on, we have the next very energetic speaker. We have none other than Toastmaster Rabia Zishan, who is going to be delivering level 1 from motivational strategies. Her topic is going to be, her project is going to be evaluation and feedback. And this is going to be speech 1. The title of this particular speech is Picnic. So put your hands together for Toastmaster Rabia Zishan. The evaluator is going to be Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar. Over to you, madam.
Assalamualaikum. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
And we have Toastmaster Asghar here. Yes. I was wondering where you are. Okay, timer, don't count that as my speech. I'm starting now.
You're already disqualified.
Okay, I need to share the screen as well.
Later.
You should have told us earlier.
I
No.
told,
You're
I
further,
informed.
you're further disqualified now.
No, I informed earlier.
Yeah, you did. All right.
So, can I share it? Yes, I can. Okay. Wait, I'll share when I want to. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. Long ago, on July 3rd, 2022, in the most humid and the most hot weather, with no wind that day, few of the super excited Toastmaster members in Karachi got together at a small fun house and had a fun-filled picnic day. It started as a KTC picnic with many people excited and planning the event with me. But as the day came nearer, those excited people started to inform me that they have some commitments that day, although they really wanted to attend the picnic. As the participants started to reduce, the per head chart started to increase. And I started to have a debate in my head on whether to continue with the plan or just cancel it. And I had to decide it quickly as the day was approaching very fast. I decided with a few members who were participating that why not invite the other clubs who are in Karachi? And I thought that was a super excellent idea. A week was left and I made this decision to plan this and invite the other families, other clubs in Karachi. It did not work because no one came. A week was left and I made the decision to bring this plan to action finally. But alas, the number of participation was not the only issue. A problem I had with the venue was that the so-called fun house had no electricity, it had no gas, and it did not have water. There was a swimming pool there, but with no water in it. And to make it more fun and lively, and the members wanted the water, these poor members had to give extra for the swimming pool, or the water for the swimming pool as well. The day arrived, we all went together, everyone came in their cars. We did carpool as well, whoever could, and we reached the fun house. It was an amazing fun-filled day, despite the hot weather, the sweating, despite all the other issues. Few of us took the time of our very busy life, of our routine life, to take a break from all the activities, our jobs, our houses, our families, and even Toastmasters, and bring a new spark in our life to re-energize ourselves and to rejuvenate ourselves. Okay. Just to tell you, where did it go? Yes. Just to give a glimpse, and why did I choose this topic today? Because we have a lot of new members in the KTC family, and I wanted to tell them that we are not just only speeches and a boring group of people, but we do have some fun sometimes as well. This was the group that went to the small fun house, and we had a fun-filled day. We played cricket. How do we go to the next slide? I'm really bad at PowerPoint. Okay. We played cricket, and we even had a singing competition. And I was surprised to find out that almost all KTC members can sing. One after the other. Everyone was a great singer. And those who were not good at singing, they had the full energy and the passion to make it more fun. It was a family event, and all the members who came with their families, almost all. So why should we take a break from our routine? This was a short poem written by our very own DTM Aliya Sharanjam after the meeting, and he shared it in the group. The family is essential. It helps you to let go of your sorrow. Halt your busy life and take your time to enjoy the moments that mellow. You might get tired or suffer strains. On the other hand, the lethargy drains. And he said, thank you all for making this happen, for making the moments which will turn into memories one day. We meet many people in our life, but not all instants will become memories. But the day we spend together will definitely will. So fellow Toastmasters, fellow KTC members, and other guests who are from Karachi and not from Karachi, but they can travel whenever they want. And I'll take the name correctly, Toastmaster is fun. So what's the plan? Picnic kab rakhni hai Toastmasters family? It's high time. And this time I assure you that, okay, how do I stop sharing now? This is like, okay. So how, and this time, believe me, I would not go for the fun house where there's no electricity, no water, and no gas. We'll choose a different location, maybe the seaside, which do not have high tides right now, because in July there were high tides. And I would really like to invite all the people in this room, in this club, in our WhatsApp group to give me a go ahead, because I'm all ready to take a break again after 6 months. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
With 0 per head cost, I am more than welcome.
Your speech was not original.
My speech was not original. What do you mean by that?
You use
It had
material from.
copied. It had
We
copied.
can't hear you, KTC.
It had
It's
copied
luxury.
content.
Feedback. आपके evaluation
Oh, your
But
evaluator,
I mentioned it.
Yeah, reference you
but
shared.
it exceeded 25%.
I gave the reference. No, it did not exceed 25%.
If the per head cost is 0, then please count me in.
Okay, why are we having chit chat with the TMOD?
Yeah, Mr. Toastmaster.
I think he's not on the Zoom screen.
Yeah,
I cannot see
yeah.
him.
Wait a minute.
Carry on.
I can
Oh,
carry
he's
on.
lost the internet connection. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, let me announce the next speaker, and next speaker is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. So we are doing another innovation since a few weeks. When we have an agenda like this, we intersperse the table topics with the prepared speeches. So everyone, please put your hands together for our table topics master, Toastmaster Lateef Mansoor.
Cheers.
These are the topics. Thank you, impromptu Toastmaster of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Talab and Hamid, for inviting me. Now, table topics is an exciting segment of Toastmasters. We allow the speaker, or we encourage the speaker to come participate, just because it helps you to think on your feet. With little time, express yourself. So, as I know, there are new Toastmaster Luim, who is really wanted to know about Toastmasters. So I'm trying to give more details about what is table topics. In table topics, as a table topic master, I will be delivering or giving you a speech, a topic, where you will express about that topic. Either you agree or you disagree. This is your call. One good experience of yours, and finally a takeaway message. This all should be between 1 to 2 minutes. So in 1 minute, it will be a green light showed by the timer. Yellow will be showed at 1 minute 30 seconds and red will be showed at 2 minutes. So distinguished Toastmasters Alav and Hamid, please advise who shall I call for?
I think we can call, there are no guests here. Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a guest, Toastmaster Zehra. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will be calling up Toastmaster Zehra. She is my better half and president of Karachi Toastmasters Club. And then I will invite our guest, Ms. Luen.
Yeah, but that will be after further.
Yeah, so she will know that how
Yeah.
this works.
Yeah.
So Toastmaster Zehra. You are very familiar about the table topics, and this will be your topic.
Don't drop it.
Yes, never. Something given by love cannot be dropped. Okay. So, Toastmasters Zehra. This meeting is all about how to master out the inflation. Okay. And your topic is get a handle on your expenses. Toastmasters Zehra, get a handle on your expenses.
Word of the day is empathetic.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and distinguished guest and my fellow Toastmasters. I think it's been a year and a half that the world is moving on the other side of the sky. I would say a sky because it's not coming down, it's going up towards the right. And right is always not right, but it's on the left. So how to handle that left? Because we all are now concerned about the prices of the tomatoes, onion, and our day-to-day expense. We are not worried about how our child is getting the quality education or the quality job, what we are going every day, day-to-day work. But they are all, their mind is on the left side, which is working on the, what is the rate of dollar? What is the rate of the onion? How to handle at your expense? I think that inflation will not be deflated in next year or so. But how to handle that situation, it's your right. So take this right on your mind and don't forget, time is clicking on. Your generation is growing day by day. Handle that pressure. Don't make their education go away. Give them quality, what you can afford to have, because that years will not come back. But the inflation will go. Minus your expenses, go what you can afford, and what is luxury, it's okay. It's not needed. What you can afford, it's quality education, quality life at your expense on the right. Thank you.
Thank you. As I said that after my first table topic speaker, I will be inviting the guest, Luen. But may I request that as per the agenda, after our next 3 speakers, I will be calling you. So please stay connected with us.
Yes.
Over to you, impromptu Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Very promptu table topics master. Next, we had Toastmaster Elvin Faraz. Unfortunately, he has been disconnected. So we'll move on to Toastmaster Azhar. And no, his evaluator is not here yet. So that means that we have no choice but to call Toastmaster Kadir Ansari. And his evaluator is Toastmaster Latif Mansoorali. Toastmaster Kadir is presenting his icebreaker. Man who is much loved and much hated. Man who is much loved and much hated. Toastmaster Kadir.
Thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters. Actually, talking about one's own self has not been my cup of tea. Basically, I love to talk about others and especially love to talk about ideas. But here in front of you all wonderful people, I feel as if I am standing in a church and I confess and I have to make too many confessions before you all people. Actually, my life has been by and large formed by the challenges. I have to say that I've been living my life, leading my life earlier days as a rebellion and what I call myself as reactionary. During my childhood days, my elder brother asked me that you are good for nothing and as you cannot play football. I started playing football and I started playing cricket, and when I was undergoing my matriculation, I was very much at the zenith of my career as I've been the captain of my district inter-club. And I'm the person who have represented 2 districts in Sindh, my native place Sakha and Mirpur Khas. So that challenge I've made out. Another challenge, somebody told me that you are very bad at writing. I started writing and right now I am having the authorship of 3 books. When I was in my teens, I confess that I was in love with a very pretty girl. And when her parents knew that, they contacted my parents and given such sort of messages that what he is doing, he hasn't any social standing, he hasn't any degree. So what he will make with his life. Then I started preparation for civil service exams, and these days I am additional secretary in Sindh government. So, but this journey was very thorny, was not very easy. Rather, it was a very bumpy ride. I remember a very cold night in the early December when I entered in, when I stepped down from Sakhar Express to Hyderabad station, and the morning 5:10, I started my journey toward Mirpur Khas because I was appointed as a stenographer there. I was 18 years old. I did not know where to go. I did not have my room. I did not have any charpoy, where to sleep and where to have my food. So that was an awesome thing on my part. For some of my life, even I did not have the enough money to pay for the fare, and instead I had the long strolls from my university to my room there. And even I used to do my labor as a computer operator somewhere to earn money. And I have been working as a translator simultaneously to earn money to have my dreams completed. So this was that. Even then, I had too many admirers, I had too many haters. My haters had all the right to hate me because I did turn my deaf ear to their advice. I did not go their way. I did go by my own way. And my admirers have all the solid reasons for admiring me because I care for them. I've always been a careful person for my friends, sometimes to my fools as well. But and when it comes to the things and efforts
when I say that my friends are in my need of my help, then I extend my full throttle help to them. So that's why my admirers have all the rights to admire me. Finally, a few things of my own choices. I got a few things of my choice. I love music. I love Eastern music. I love especially the film music and classical and semi-classical music. I love to watch football games. My family has been very scary of my this habit. In the midnights, I've been tuning on my television, and plenty of people who are surrounding by me are feeling very uneasy. So these are my choices by which I was being admired and I was being hated. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As per our tradition, we give a standing ovation to Life. Congratulations, sir. It was great to know you. All right. Next, we have Toastmaster Nofal Sajjan. And his evaluator will be Toastmaster Raghunath Raju. He will, Toastmaster Nofal will also be delivering his icebreaker. Everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nofal Sajjan, slap of failures. Slap of failures, Toastmaster Nofal.
Hello, everyone. Gratitude, empathy, validation. These are the words not familiar to me. And I tried my best to find some analogy to represent my state, but couldn't find it. I start my introduction by a Persian maxim, which says, you are better to be dog rather than younger siblings. I used to be a kid and Khabad, where I born, till I start to walk. After that, I had all the responsibility of chores which my tiny bones can lift. And then normally people go to school for schooling, but I go from one part of my home to the other part of my home because my mother used to run a kindergarten. And I stayed there till 8th standard. And nobody actually questioned me being there at 8th standard in kindergarten. Then a time come when I finally had a chance to go to a normal school. Remember it, normal school. Normal school. I was very excited. I go there and I make friends and do normally people do. And my first slap of failure, here I come, my first slap of failure. Because I didn't know I had to go through an entrance. And I scored 16 out of 100. Though I managed to get into that school because my father had some links. And he had taken all the credit as well. I could score 0 rather than 16, but he didn't give me any credits. Here I wanted to mention what my school name was. My secondary school name is MTB. Normal school, MTB. Madrasatul Binnath. Madrasatul Binnath is my school name. No. Not the worst part. Not the worst part. What is Madrasatul Binnath? What is Madrasatul Binnath? School girl.
Yes.
And the irony was there were more boys than girls. Yeah, it's true. And let me tell you one more thing. The environment there was easily offendable for the right wings. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Then I managed to get 89% in my secondary education and 85% in higher secondary education. Second slab of failure. I was leading a very pleasant yet flat life, living in a bubble. Second slab, my MCAT. Yes, my MCAT. I didn't get admission in MBS. And why I started to pursue MBBS is yet another story, and I don't want to go there. Second slab, after second slab, there were no brainstorming, no counseling, and my interest matters? No, no. What's the best alternative? What's the best alternative of MBBS which pays well? CA. CA. Wow. CA. Well, I was studying biology, anatomy, and things like that, and all together put into a side, and I have to study. What I have to study? Stats, maths, derivatives, accounting. Exactly. I have to study correct. One thing I wanted to mention here, I wanted to shatter the notion that being youngest is considered to be the pampered. But I was the experimental child of my parents, constantly taunted by my sibling that I have been taken out of bed. Seriously. Okay. After all the persistence, determination, I managed to pass my CA inter after zillionth attempts. And finally and get myself into an audit firm. And I considered myself, yes, I have been pulled back into a game. Now everything is fine and good things going to happen with me. And guess what? Guess what?
Another slab.
Another slab, yes, exactly, another slab. They outsourced me. The indictment of younger sibling against rape. And especially by the HR. Let's talk about HR. For HR, you are the most laziest person on earth, and a company hired you out of pity, just like the younger sibling. I wanted to share a story here. I have been outsourced in a very reputable company. Yeah. And their HR, I went to validate some documents from the HR, and it says DR debit, a symbol of debit, salary expense, and CR credit to bank. And she was like, "Why we are paying salary to doctor?" And I seriously, I told her that it's in case of emergency, we'll credit some amount to their bank. So, to conclude my introduction, I would say the same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. That's conclusion, but I would say don't let words dictate you. You be the one dictates for words. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Once again, a standing ovation is an honor. And today you are feeling so bad because the person in question was not here. How did you pass your day? I wonder. So now it's time for our next speaker, and that is finally it had to come. Toastmaster Faizan Zafar. Yeah. All right. Okay. Toastmaster Salman Ejaz. He is doing his icebreaker, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Fahim Razak. So Toastmaster Salman Ejaz, journey of life, Toastmaster Salman.
Today, I would like to share my journey of life with Toastmasters. My journey of life is divided into 4 parts. Basically, firstly, childhood. I was born in Karachi in a medical family with a sibling who relates to my field. And initially, I was born in a joint family system where my mentors, my father, brother, and sister used to guide me, mentor me in every way. I belong to a poor family, and ultimately, at the current day, we are a little bit established, not so much, but I need to share this thing with you so that I need to state that everything happens after certain experiences. From poor to rich person, and it is a very long journey where person moves after severe experiences from poor to good journey. Initially, we used to live in a federal area. It was 120 square yard house where we used to live in 2 rooms only. It was very mixed match experiences where everyone had to dictate, guide you that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and you have to listen to everyone. You cannot do your own things. In home, parents used to guide us, do this, do that. At school, you have to listen to your teachers, and everything was in a like someone else was driving your car. In childhood, it is the same experience. Then you move to the school life where it's a different mix and match, and you have to face different sort of people who guide you. You have to interact, and school is one of the places where you learn to interact with each other. Well, my schooling began at St. Patrick's School. I joined there from 1 to 4th class, and then ultimately we moved to Saudi Arabia. And at that place, it was a very different sort of interaction where you have to interact with multiple multinational people like Indian, Pakistani, and you have to face the language barrier too. And that there was very different experience where I used to play football with them, interact with them in Arabic, and it's a very different sort of experience. It was a very different sort of experience. I learned to speak Arabic over there. It was we used to go to Makkah, Medina, and then second part of my story was school life. Another school life in the later part when I arrived back from Saudi Arabia over here and being a part of O levels and A levels. I completed my O levels from the city school and A levels from the same school. It was a experience where you have to be a part of a competition, that you have to get certain grades to ultimately success in a career. And I started my O levels in bio, as same case as said by our past Toastmaster, that you have to be a doctor. As my parents were doctors, so I was enforced that you have to be a doctor. But I didn't like that field and ultimately moved towards engineering to pursue that. I thought that I could be an engineer and that it would be some fascination for me in my life. But at the end of the day, life takes you where you are meant to be. And then ultimately, I used to live with my in my Taya's house where my elder cousin was CA. So my journey was meant to be there, and I went there and started doing ACCA. As I was good in maths, when I began CA, I was hating it. As I was not getting it. In the first paper I gave, which was related to accounting, I got nearly 50, 51, 52. I just barely passed. But second paper, which is considered F2, was very good. I understood when I started reading it, and I gave it. It was a computer-based exam, and when I gave it, I got nearly 100 out of 100 in it. It was a very different experience for me, and I came to know that it is my cup of tea. Then I ultimately completed my ACCA in 3 years, from 2011 to 2013. And at the end of ACCA, as we are told that after this, the life is very colorful and you will go and succeed and you don't have to work anywhere. Then I started my articles in BDO, where I met our lovely Talabai. Then as we pursue, and the same things started again and again, the life dictations, in daily life, the 3 year period is a very frustrating. where everyone dictate you. Then ultimately in my article, I completed my ICW, and it was a very different experience. At the last, which is the last part of my thing, was a final phase where everyone has to be a part of his life. And I became married and ultimately a father of two. Like, I would like to conclude that life is a part of bumpy experiences where you have to be ready for every challenge. Thank you.
Wonderful. We should rename today's meeting as Catharsis for Unwilling Accountants. I wish I had my icebreaker today. So, unfortunately, and it pains me to say that, but our TMOD is still facing connectivity issues, so you have to bear with me. And now, are we ready with Toastmaster Faizan?
Table topics.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Please, our table topics master, please come on stage. Continue.
The first table topic speaker was my better half. As I called her, I forgot that this table topic is also one of my projects. It's an active listening project. So I actively listened to her, and she managed to somehow made me feel as a table topic master that she has the handle on the expenses. Don't ask me what the husband knows. Okay, so on your speech, I really love the way you have expressed. You really encouraged each and every member over here to put and invest on quality education rather than spending lots of money towards unwanted expenses. Thank you very much. Now it is time for me to invite guest Loem.
Yes.
And who shall I? Guest Loem, are you there? If you can pitch on the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So we have the topics in a basket. So who would you want to? Can you allow the table topics master to pick your topic from the basket on your behalf?
Yes, virtually it is possible.
Because you cannot put your hand in the basket, right? So so yeah, Toastmaster Lateef, go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, I will be sharing a topic. Word of the day is empathy. Empathetic. Okay.
Say pathetic and add M.
Okay, so I have picked up your topic. You have to speak from 1 to 2 minutes. Here you go. Guest Loen, your topic is invest in career and income potential. Invest in career and income potential. Over to you.
A very good evening from my side. It's already 10 o'clock here in my country. It's almost 11 and I'm actually half asleep and I don't really get the topic given to me. But I heard you mention about invest. Only that word that I could get. First of all, I am so happy to be here with all of you and given a chance to speak in this prestige occasion. And basically, I could feel butterflies in my stomach. And this is one of my fear. I am afraid of speaking in front of anybody, even though I am actually a teacher, I could feel that if I speak in front of new people I'm not familiar with, that's one of my fear. Okay, so actually, once again, I'm not so clear with the topic. And the only idea that I could give here is we have to decide carefully on how and what we should do, and to invest, we have to decide carefully on how we should use our money. Thank you. That's all. Back to you.
Thank you, guest Lewin. First of all, congratulations for bringing that fear or facing that fear of public speaking and coming out and speaking to people who you don't know. So this is the first step. And really, the topic which was given to you was all about how to invest in your potential career and the invest potential, how to have the income potential. In the end, you showed that we have to be careful and wise where to put our valued time and bring our best future. Thank you very much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. Our next speaker finally is Toastmaster Faizan. Imran, what is his project?
To be decided.
To be decided. So, what is your project and your title?
Vocal variety.
Acha, understanding vocal variety.
Introduction to vocal variety of body language. Yes.
What's the title of your speech?
Learning from others.
Learning from others. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Faizan.
That's one thing. How do you want to be evaluated?
Yes.
Speech,
Would you like to be
your speech?
only evaluated on vocal variety or both body language and vocal variety?
The project requires only one.
Both.
It's purely
Both.
up to you.
Both. Okay. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Faizan Zafar. The title is, sorry, once again.
Learning from others.
Learning from others. Learning from others, Toastmaster Faizan Zafar.
Hello, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and disciplinary Toastmaster. And normally, at the end of the end of sessions of Toastmaster, I decided that next speech is a very great speech, and I promised myself I will invest time on it. But the day I will come on the next session, the day after the next session, I realized that I did nothing. Because the thing is that due to time of due to a lot of commitment, it is very difficult to arrange everything on the time. Office work, home commitments, studies. So it is very difficult to manage it. But I think it's also a big challenge and a requirement to improve ourselves. So therefore, I try my best to arrange time to deliver better speech in every time. Today, my topic is learning from others. We normally discover everyone here. Everyone want to discover himself, to understand himself and to perform better in the life. But we also learn from others to discover ourselves. So I today share my first stories with my a lot of your families, like parents, siblings, relatives, friends, and colleagues, executives, and peers, and home partner, and others, people to whom we connected. So I have shared 5 personal stories with friends. I have a best friend, my cousin named Fawad, and sometimes we discuss something each other on some topic, which is about our career. Normally, our families engage in the business of family business and prefer to do business than studies. So we Farhad start talking. Farhad said, Faizan, what do you think? We should join the family business? Yeah, you think about new business. I think I don't know. So he said Farhad, I think joining a business is a very good thing for us. First one is that we have everything in our pocket from now. Instead of waiting over years to do study and get a job, so it is better thing we join the business. I am silent, and I told him, no, I think because we are jealous each other. So I against this comment. So my counter every time not agreement, disagreement. So I told him not we are going to study. Because we learn something, we know something, we develop ourselves, we communicate with others, know others, and we can visit multiple cities, countries through education, to shop, and we come in, we perform a lot of commitments, which is not easy for us during these sessions after joining business with family. Finally, I think the business is a good option for us, but we both started studying and both joined CA, like pursue the career and the CA. And second story of the same one and room partner. When we came in Karachi, and this is a very interesting moment for us. First time we pull out from families, come from zone, and we are live together bachelor life in the Karachi. So we have a lot of work to do, like cooking, cleaning, washing. So normally we fight on it because I don't like to cleaning. I love to cook, and so it is very difficult for us to arrange our tasks. Normally we fight each other. Suppose one day Farah says, "You do you saw the room? How it is conditions? And how did you study in this environment there?" I said, "Okay, I can study. It's not difficult for me." So he told me, "You don't try to clean it." I said, "I didn't." And one time we are together sitting there, and he wanted to eat Chinese rice, and he knew that Faizan is good prepared to Chinese rice. So he said, "I will do washing, cleaning on your side if you cook the Chinese rice in every Sunday." And so we come on the agreement on this thing. One thing with the colleagues, normally on timings and working. Normally our colleagues come late in the office because they enjoy life. They come 12, 11 as they want. Sometimes they don't come and call us. Today I not feel good, so today I take a leave. So normally I found that thing normally. So we face a lot of challenge from that time. So my colleague one Bilal, he called me, Faizan bhai, today is very difficult for me to come office because I have a fever, so I cannot come today. And I told today's deadline, so we should come to present the report. So what did I do? I called the manager. I call anyone else. So I think it's fine. You didn't come. I will close the work. And second one is classmate. This is a very interesting story. One time I missed the class of the financial reporting in a CL. So I called my friend Ali. Hi Ali. I didn't come today because I have some commitments. So please kindly attend the class clearly, understand everything, and written down properly. If you miss anything, so see from your neighbor and write it clearly. And when I came back the next day, I see I couldn't understand the alphabets, the writings, and I even couldn't understand what is the meaning of the topic. So I learned from these things. Every time you need to be planned, and everything selection from friends, colleagues, and do agreement before everything to do. So I understand, and obviously this is the topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Faizan. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar, who has come up with this allegation that I've forgotten about him, but that is completely not true. Actually, his evaluator has just joined. So Toastmaster Asghar, are you there? Yes, you are. So today, Toastmaster Asghar will be speaking about, he'll be doing the project Connect with Storytelling. Path is Leadership Development Level 3. And his evaluator is Toastmaster Anam Khadri. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Asghar, Curious Case of a Patient. Curious Case of a Patient, Toastmaster Asghar.
Madam President, dear Toastmasters, and guest if there is any. During my English paper in bachelor exam, I left examination all in 3 different occasions to vomit or throw up before returning to the hall and resuming to write my answer paper. The same was the case with my history paper during my master's exam in subsequent year. The issue was not with my examination. It was with me. I had suffered a mysterious health problem throughout my adult life. Much before these examinations, I vomited for hours and days. I had to visit nearby emergency room or a ward of a hospital to hydrate my dehydrated body through intravenous drugs on a regular interval. Doctors ruled out most of the usual suspect: ulcer, stomach cancer, irritable bowel syndrome, etc. But they hadn't been able to figure out what was causing my symptom. I kept changing my specialist. During 2010-11, I learned about a new gastro specialist in the town and immediately visited him for consultation. After going through all the lab tests and investigations and ruling out all possible and related diseases, he then asked me, "Do you enjoy throwing up or vomiting?" It was clear to me that he suspected something called anorexia, which is an eating disorder characterized basically by restriction of food intake due to intense fear of gaining weight and sometimes deliberately inducing vomiting, putting your finger inside your mouth. I was thrown off guarded and I couldn't recall exactly how the rest of the conversation went. But as I recalled it, it went something like this: "You are a psycho. Do you want to kill yourself?" Dear Toastmaster, I thought he would be an empathetic person for me, but far away. By that point, I was so upset that I walked out from his consulting room. The doctor must have interpreted my reaction as an hysterical denial, became perhaps more convinced of his diagnosis, and assumed that I was running away from my issue. Dear Toastmasters, during the stay in UK in 2011-12, in the subsequent year, for a scholarship program, the monster struck me. And I was brought to the hospital by the NHS ambulance from my dorm. The same investigation and tests were repeated. The result was no different. After ruling out again all the issues which mimic my problem, they and the history that I described, or my doctor had conjured up in his mind back in Karachi, they came up with another conclusion, but the less weird one. They told me that in the absence of all biomarker, there is a possibility of a stomach functional complication called cyclic vomiting syndrome, or CVS. Now, according to them, it acts like a migraine. There is no treatment for it. Doctors merely manage it and elevate the suffering till it runs its course or makes a landfall like a cyclone. Dear Toastmasters, what I know now, that my doctor's diagnosis of anorexia was wrong, I can also see why he would have been so confident about my diagnosis. Because all the tests and investigation didn't show anything. With all probabilities, the doctor went off track was in only asking me about the things that confirmed his suspicion, and asking me in a way that they would stay confirmed no matter how I behaved. Now, what I didn't know then and do know now is that my anorexia doctor was the victim of what is called confirmation bias. It's all about a consciously interpret information in a way that confirm our existing belief. But why even experts like my gastro fall prey to this bias? My doctor back in England told me that the cognitive issues are not in their control, no matter how wise and sympathetic they are. They even told me that prescriptions under NHS are watched by a medical watchdog as a regular phenomenon to save the patients from these biases. Now, dear Toastmasters, here is the takeaway. Next time, when you see your doctor, listen your doc very carefully, but watch out for biases, no matter how famous he or she is, no matter how prestigious the hospital is that you have checked in. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar. What a message. Who would have dreamed that where your speech was leading to? As always, you managed to surprise and delight us, and in the process, deliver a very valuable lesson. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Mir Shehroz. His evaluator is Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi. The project is Understanding Body Language and Vocal Variety. Toastmaster Mir Shehroz, please turn on your camera. Yes. All right. Do you want us to stop live streaming?
Yes.